Hi, hello, how are you? It's your girl Monét, and you're watching The Exchange Rate, a talk show where I believe that owning a pet has proven to be very cathartic. No? Okay, here's another one. Do you know why cats can't play in the jungle? Too many cheetahs. Okay, last one. I'm gonna try to get Patty on this one. Do you know what Colleen's favorite dance is? The percolator. You know what the percolator is? No, you don't. Do it. Let me see.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
So it still wasn't funny.
Today we're getting very Dr. Doolittle up in here, i.e. all the cat jokes, with Queer Eye's very own Jonathan Van Ness. Woo! But first, let's get into the gig. It's time for the percolator. Get time for the... You don't know the percolator? I feel like this is deja vu. We had this conversation before. There's another dance that from Philadelphia that you didn't know. I'm pretty sure this was it. Anyway, we are back home in New York City, the new exchange rate set. I don't know if it's because we haven't been here for a while. It seems more neon-y than usual, and I'm into it. It seems like brighter, right? Work.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we left London quick, fast, and in a hurry because literally after they were like, okay, we're going to tier 3, we couldn't do the show. Then literally like 4 days later, they were like, by the way, we're going to tier 4. Stay home, hide your kids, hide your wife, don't leave your fucking houses. And we're like, okay, we're backing it up, we're gone because this is crazy. And we're back in New York City and it is disgusting. You know what, there is this like dream that New York City has sold people that it snows here and it's so beautiful and everything. When it's snowing, like actively like trickling from the sky in New York, it looks pretty. Bitch, an hour later, it is disgusting. The snow is fucking brown. It's everywhere. And then the snowplow machines are so rude, nasty, and disgusting. They plow, they clean the streets and they plaster cars in. So these cars, after like a foot of snow, these cars have like 3 feet of snow blocking their cars in. It's all slushy and gross. It is not cute. So if you want to come to New York City because you think it's going to be snowing here and pretty, mama, that is not the tea. I'm going to do a video and try to get in this episode to show what that shit really look like. It's terrible. That being said, I don't live in a house anymore. I live in an apartment, so I don't ever have to like shovel snow. You've never had to shovel snow because you never had like a, yeah. Shoveling show is ridiculous. I hate it. And a little report, I think my little neighborhood bae is stalking me because I got her last night. Again, I haven't told, besides Patty and like close friends, no, I'm back home. And we have not had any contact and communication since like October. And I got a text at like 1 o'clock in the morning like, hey, so you're back? And I was like, how did you know I'm back? He doesn't live in my building. He lives like 3 blocks away. So
I'm sure he can see you on Grande 3 blocks
away. I haven't gone on Grande since I got home. I have not opened my Grande since I've been home.
Are you sure?
I swear. So that is weird. Are you peeing yourself?
No, I'm not peeing myself. I just like fully, they're like...
So yeah, he's like, oh, so you're back. That's so fucking weird. I've not opened any apps.
You didn't post on Instagram while you were in the airport?
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't think he follows me online though.
You don't think?
Girl, anyway, oh my God, what if he's watching this? Hi, I'm happy. I'm happy I'm back. I didn't text back though, that's so rude. Whatever. Let's talk about the stories this week. Ariana Grande. Ariana is engaged. Now, she was engaged before to old Peter Davidson. We all know that was short-lived. And I have a theory. All of Ariana's past boyfriends that we've known about have all had big dicks. Big Sean. Allegedly, Pete Davidson has the only monster penis. Allegedly. We've never seen pictures, but allegedly he does. And I don't know if this new guy does, but all of Ariana's past have had, like, bitch. Which I'm like, Ariana, go off, sis. Anyway, on December 20th, she announced that she was engaged to real estate mogul. Well, not mogul. Mogul is a little bit of a stretch, but real estate agent Dalton Gomez on an Instagram post. And congratulations to her. I think Ariana is truly one of those girls. She is like a hopeless romantic. She just wants to find the right boy, which I guess we all are. I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic. I don't like to say that about myself because I'm like, that sounds so cheesy, so like Sex and the City, but I do feel like a hopeless romantic. I want like a cute boy to like engage and get married and all that stuff. Are you a hopeless romantic?
Yeah, that's why I end up in so many shitty situations.
Right. I don't end up in as many shitty situations as you, but I definitely prescribe to the hopeless romantic thing. So good on her. They were first reported seen together via TMZ when she was making out with him at a bar around Valentine's Day. So it was pre-COVID. So say if you're, oh my God, Ariana was out at a bar kissing. No, it was pre-COVID. And it was the first time that she's seen dating anyone since Pete Davidson, which they had kind of like a messy thing. She wrote that whole song about him, Thank You Next. Bitch, imagine Taylor Swift, Adele, and Ariana. You fuck with them, they are writing songs about you, and millions of people will be singing about how shitty you are, how thank God you gone. So dating people like that is a little dangerous. I've done some songs about exes in the past too. So I guess if you date an artist, like that's just the risk, the danger. That is the cost benefit analysis of dating an artistic person. Whether you're a painter, someone gonna fucking do a paint of you looking, who knows? Anyway, as she first announced her relationship in that Stuck With You video, the one that her and Justin Bieber did through coronavirus, and it's like around the 3:30 mark, and his head is like cut off, so you don't really see his head except for like a little bit at the end. But now we all see what he looks like, and he's cute. Mama, she met him. This is what Aslika was saying. Ariana was looking for her home outside of Los Angeles to get away from her house, and her team found Dalton to help. When she saw him, she immediately thought he was cute and very good looking, and she asked her team to set up an in-person meeting with him. Ariana felt very hard for Dalton shortly after they met. Like, that's how I be feeling shit gonna happen to me. I feel like I'm gonna stumble into Chipotle and I'm gonna see this like cute guy and it's just gonna, I'm like, Patty, get his number, my team. Patty. I'm like, Patty, talk to him. So that's so cute. He's a real estate agent who's selling like, he's not selling apartments in New York for $2,000 or $3,000. He's selling like multi-million-dollar mansions. So he probably comes from his own money too. Anytime I hear a celebrity dating someone who's not a celebrity as well, I always feel nervous for them because who knows? Everyone wants fucking clout. Everyone wants money these days. So I get nervous, but he's making his own thing. And obviously he's not a celebrity, but he hangs out in a lot of celebrity circles. So I don't think he's with her for that. And he was linked to Miley Cyrus back in 2017. And I don't know if they were dating or not, but I don't think there's anything there. Which, have you ever seen that video of Miley and Ariana singing Don't Wait Till It's Over? It's so fucking cute. They're in these like onesies, and it's like so cute. But yeah, so congratulations, Ariana, on your engagement. I haven't watched a documentary yet on Netflix. I heard it's fucking dope. And yeah, work. Who keeps on texting me? Oh. Can you imagine that was Neighbor Bay? Hey. Central Park. Now, this story isn't necessarily a celebrity thing, but it's something that's near and dear to me. Central Park horses. Y'all, if you've never been to New York City, around Central Park and in Midtown Manhattan, there are these horse carriages in Central Park that their job is these fucking poor horses. It's to carry fat fucking Americans, lazy people around New York City in Central Park. Every time I see it, I get so filled with rage because the horses look so sad. Sometimes, and I get it, that's what horses were used for. That's what horses did for centuries, whatever. But this is 2020. We need to like abolish that shit. You just see these horses trucking along so sadly and pulling like 5 people in a fucking carriage. And it is literally one of the saddest things. But this is even sadder. On December 20th, an eyewitness reported to NYC LASS, which is the New Yorkers for Clean, Livable, and Safe Streets, that a horse had collapsed on an icy path while pulling a carriage in Central Park. The driver got the horse up and had to continue to pull the passengers until the end of the day, I'm sure, without any medical examination, so no one knows if the horse is okay. But imagine you just see this horse in freezing New York City walking on ice, just dropped onto the ground. The guy's like, no, get your ass up and finish working. Like, that shit is so sad to me. And it's really gross. The NY class have been a longtime advocates for horses, and they have a page on the site dedicated to the awareness of the abuse of these horses, and they cite things like horse collapses, horses get into accidents with cars, because sometimes these fucking things go down the street with cars and cars collide into these horses, and they report the mistreatment of this. 7 horses have died in New York City in violation of the health records for the welfare and treatment of horses. So it's a really sad thing. Obviously, there's 2 sides to every coin. there's two sides to every coin. So, you know, it's a little murky, but animal advocates in the city say that the streets are no places for horses. And again, I am not a vet. I don't know about horse welfare, but I just feel like horses, especially in the winter, horses, I know they wear horseshoes, but trekking through the salt and shit on the street, I just don't think we need to have fucking horses around in New York City anymore. Like, abolish that shit. Abolish that shit. And yeah, there's also a video from February showing a 12-year-old horse named Aisha struggling to stand and collapsing on the ground, carrying passengers in the carriage. Like, leave these fucking horses alone. Just put them in the field. Let them. Have you seen the movie Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron? I fucking love that movie. It's so beautiful. Horse is so majestic. So there are... The industry has come a long way, and the New York City has laws for horse-drawn carriages that include this. 1, horses can only work up to 9 hours a day. 2, they must take a 5-week-long furlough every year at a horse facility outside of New York. They can't be younger than 5 or older than 26. They are supposed to wear blankets in the cold and not work if the temperatures are too high. And but of course, like anything in a big city like this, it's hard to regulate and it's hard to keep track of this stuff. But people who do a good job of taking care of their horses in New York City is the NYPD. Sad to say. I mean, not sad to say, but I mean, you know, cops. You know, not me doing a blowjob thing. And they have like big exercise rings for the horses, and they have like large stables, so they really take care of the horses, which is a good thing. So yeah, I would love to see this change for horses. I think it's super sad, and I honestly, something that when I see them pulling the horses in the Central Park, I legit want to like fucking throw a goddamn rock at their heads, and they're like,
the driver is not the horse.
Yeah, the driver, not the horse. Can you imagine? Yeah, so horses, I love you. Stay safe. The COVID vaccine. Now, I am a black man living in the world, and I know our community, we're so trepidatious and so cautious about things being, not that the vaccines are being mandated yet by the government, but when the government is trying to give like the mass public things, we're always like, y'all don't have a very nice history of being nice to us and treating us fairly or kind. So black people are always like, I ain't taking that shit. But the COVID vaccine, I think this is different. Obviously, this is, I can't even, I don't think I've ever taken a flu vaccine. Have you? Yeah, I've never taken a flu vaccine.
I have, but I haven't for the past couple of years.
Like, not even once. Also, I hear people who say their fucking arms hurt for like a week. They get sick. I'm like, why am I taking this shit?
Well, that's the reason I stopped taking them. Is like 1 year on Christmas. Actually, I was meant to be working Christmas at the hotel. I got the flu vaccine that year. I got the flu on Christmas Eve.
See,
and that was the last time I've ever taken one because I was like, you're not gonna get me again.
Hello, like I'm like done with that. But
to not get it when I don't take it.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. So yeah, but obviously the COVID vaccine is different. We're all in this pandemic together, and taking the COVID vaccine is something that is going to help the world heal the world. You know, so this is a little different. But so AOC, God bless it. I fucking love AOC. I said it on the podcast. I said it in many places. AOC for motherfucking president. I love her. But on Sunday, she took to Instagram to dispel a lot of the rumors about the COVID-19 vaccine and like showing like how it works. And she like took the Pfizer vaccine like live on the internet, which a lot of politicians have been doing this. And it's so crazy to me. There have been so many like Instagram little videos showing like trying to debunk that these people taking it is fake. Like one like zoomed in on the one on Biden, and they were like, look, the vial isn't even full. The thing was drawn. I'm like, I don't think Biden is getting on national television and faking taking the vaccine. Like there's just too much error in that. Like that's just not a thing. Everything is a scandal. Everything politicians do is not an episode of Scandal. But unlike other vaccines where the body's given a weakened or inactive cells of the germ or virus to fight, COVID vaccines do not contain the virus. They just have the mRNA. So it's basically like the computer of the cell, like telling it how to fight. Let me explain. mRNA is the blueprint used by cells to reproduce. It's what our body uses to replicate our own cells, like when healing from a wound, or when you're like, or when you're growing. Like the reason like all your skin cells know to form whatever is the mRNA that's inside the cell, saying like, hey, decay, multiply, and do all those things. So that's the difference. The COVID-19 vaccine is not putting a dead, weakened, or inactive germ in your body. That's not what it's doing. It's just the brains of it, if that makes sense. The mRNA does not cause the body to replicate a full COVID cell, but rather just a protein that makes up COVID cells, aka the spikes. Like, we've all seen those COVID-19 pictures, and that virus, that shit does look fucking scary, okay? And that shit it looks like something from fucking Mario Brothers. It's like some scary thing with like the spikes and the red and the blue, which I'm sure the colors are added for dramatic effect. I don't think that's what this, can you imagine? It's just well, I know it's a scan. I think that's what they look like inside of you. These little balls with the spikes on it, that's what they look like inside. The COVID-19 cell looks like Candy Muse. That shit is scary. Girl, look at her with them red things. That is scary.
The other one has like more of a thing. Because that is apparently what makes it so, like, this is apparently...
Because it latches on. It's like a fucking...
those are the things that, like, fuck you up.
Girl, yeah, so AOC went on her live and breaks down all of that information, which was really great. Because, again, having leaders like AOC, someone who I deem very trustworthy. I have, in her whole tenure as a government official, I have not once heard AOC lie to the American people. I have not once seen her mince words. She's very forthcoming, very honest with us. So having someone like AOC do it, to me, was very comforting, and her like breaking it down step by step, because I'm a fucking idiot. Like when people start throwing things around like mRNA and DNA and Alizé, I get very, I'm like, what's going on? So having her do it is great. And she says this, she said, rather than having a burglar break into your homes and have to learn to defend against them on your own, an mRNA vaccine gives us a picture of the burglar, letting us know that they're a burglar and teaching us how to keep them out. That is a great analogy of what this vaccine is doing. I fucking love her. She's just so smart. The vaccines are rigorously evaluated for safety by the FDA and only distributed after passing these evaluations. mRNA vaccines are new but not unknown. Scientists have been studying the process for decades. So it's not like, they're not like experimenting on us. Like, that's another thing. People are like, well, this new type of vaccine, this too new. I ain't doing that shit. People, they've been experimenting with it for a while. They have done them successfully before. And I think they're doing it this way because people are afraid, or they're also afraid to put the virus in somebody that's weakened or whatever. So this is all good stuff. They hope in the future that the technology can be used to create one vaccine for multiple diseases, which would be great. Getting one shot when you were a kid that handles like all the things, malaria, polio, COVID, the Black Death, the Black Plague, all that stuff. Like having one vaccine as a kid would be great. Do you remember getting all those vaccines as a kid? To go to school, you had to get measles. Going to college, you had to get like 9 vaccines I had to get. For hepatitis this, hepatitis 9, hepatitis whatever. Meningitis is the big one you get to go to college. That shit is too much.
You get all those as like a kid.
But some of them you have to get when you're again as an adult, like after 18. Yeah. Do you know any anti-vaxxers? I don't know any anti. I do. I had one friend on Facebook, a friend from college, and she was a Republican. She was a MAGA lady. I don't want to say her name. That's too much. But she's an anti-vaxxer.
I do.
Like actively, and you're still friends with them? Interesting. The CDC has information on this, and they have pages detailing all of what this process is if you want to read it yourself. So check it out. Don't be afraid of the vaccine. Take the vaccine, girl. Take the vaccine. Don't be on some old black lady shit like, I ain't, not, that's nasty. I'm not doing that. Don't be that girl. Fucking take the goddamn vaccine.
That's nasty.
Oh, that's fully black ladies. That's nasty. I'm not doing that. And in queer news, I just wanted to give a quick shout out and congratulations to Eddie Izzard. As Eddie Izzard just came out publicly and announced that her pronouns are she, her, and hers during an appearance on the Sky Art series. I've known Eddie Izzard for a long time. Eddie Izzard is a very famous stand-up comedian. Famously, though, like 2 years ago, she was on Chelsea Handler's show on Netflix when Chelsea went to England, and she was saying how she identified as a transgender lesbian woman, which to me at the time was very confusing, and I think it's still a little confusing to me how that works, but she is making it very clear what she is and what her pronouns are, and we should all respect that. She's been out as transgender since 1985, just to give you like context. So for a very long time, but just now publicly, she's coming out as what her pronouns were, and also maybe in the midst of that, she was figuring it out. There's also this thing I think that people think queer people, because we're saying like this is what I am, and how I identify, that we also have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, and that's another thing I want people to know. Queer people are also figuring it out as well, and so she's doing that, and but now she's making it very clear. She's always been very public about wearing women's clothes, but saying that they're not women's clothes, they're mine. I just bought them, and I think this is something that people need to condition themselves to say, like, it's not men's clothes, it's not women's clothes. And I'm guilty of it too. I call things boy clothes and girl clothes all the time, but I think that it should just change your mind to say they're just clothes. I'm just buying clothes. Who gives a fuck who's wearing them? They're clothes made somewhere that I'm wearing, that I'm buying. And yeah, so congratulations to Eddie Izzard. On the contrast of that, Elon Musk shared a meme on Twitter of a colonial British soldier wearing a hat that says, "I love to oppress," and bathing his face in the blood, caption, when you put he, him in your bio. So he's trying to say that people who put their pronouns at the bottom of emails, on their Instagrams, on their Twitters, on Facebook, whatever it is, that they are people, they're looking for reasons to be oppressed. I think that's what he's trying to say. Later he backtracks, stating, "I absolutely support trans, but all these pronouns are an aesthetic nightmare." First of all, just the fact that he's using language, "I support trans," isn't that just so fucking off-putting? Anytime I hear someone say things like, oh, that's a trans, right? Or like just using the verbiage wrong, I'm like,
what fucking like space rock are you hiding under?
Elon Musk is obviously a very smart man. And also, not bitching people out for having pronouns when your fucking daughter is named after the goddamn Star War. His kid's name is, what is it?
Have you looked in the face of your wife lately?
His kid's name is XAEA-12.
But according to like some math thing, it actually, someone said this, I don't know if it's true, but the way it's pronounced is something really stupid like Tyler or like Michael, or like based off of like the sounds that it makes in some sort of thing, I think.
This motherfucker makes no goddamn sense. You have the nerve. People are doing this for clarity. And I think that when people, and again, he needs
to clarify his fucking child's name.
That's what I'm saying. XAE-like what? So his motherfucking makes no sense. This also was not his first offense. In July, he tweeted, "Pronouns suck," drawing the attention of Chastain Buttigieg, who replied, "I hear your frustration, sweetie. See me after class and we can go over the worksheet again." I fucking love gays, which is Pete Buttigieg's partner. I love people put sweetie at the end of stuff. It's so pointed. I hear what you're saying, sweetie, or boo. I fucking love that. Grimes responded to the tweet saying he needs to turn off his phone or give her a call, that she knows hate isn't in his heart. I don't think he's about hate, but he has some fucking nerve complaining about pronouns when his son, is XAEA-12. Like, what? But enough about that. Congratulations, Eddie. Congratulations, Ariana. And take the motherfucking vaccines. From Queer Eye to Stand Up, our first guest shows us that anything is mother-tucking possible as long as you're 100% unapologetically yourself. Please make some noise for the fabulous JVM.
Hi, thanks for having me, Monét.
Oh my God, my dear, how are you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Your backdrop is everything. I'm obsessed. Grande, your face is serving me this morning or night where you are, wherever, but you just look beautiful. I'm super happy to talk to you.
Thank you. Well, I was telling you earlier, I was like, JV is gonna be here. I'm gonna try new eye shape today. I got very, what's the word, Patty? Very bold, and I'm liking it. I think that I'm feeling the power of JVN.
Beautiful. I love your illuminated little eye corner, that little inner illumination on that inner eye. So pretty.
Thank you. I love this little finger wave moment you have going on here.
Can I tell you the interview I just did? She was so sweet, but she had the nerve to not compliment or even notice my hair, to the point where at the end of the interview, I was like, so I've been watching a lot of Russian figure skating. all the girls are doing this with their hair over there. They're just doing these finger waves with these headbands. And she was like, I was like, so what do you think about it? It's pretty, right? And she was like, yeah, if you can't compliment yourself, who is going to compliment you? And I was like, I can't believe, like, okay, wow, I usually don't have to fish for compliments so hard. I had to put in bobby pins, really, where it makes me feel like such a Russian figure skater girl, because they also use bobby pins to hold in their little finger waves on the ice. Which actually, not to change the subject too much, and I know we have to talk about other things, but like it's kind of controversial that they use bobby pins to like secure, because if a bobby pin flies out in the middle of a spin and lands on the ice, it's a deduction, and I feel like nobody really knows that. So it's like you're really like risky if you're like out there with bobby pins, I feel like.
Really? Okay. How did you gather this knowledge? That's such a random fact. Are you?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with figure skating and gymnastics. My Explore page brings it to me, and then I take 2 clicks into YouTube, and then 3 hours, but then I go all about scoring.
Can I just tell you that was? And I know there are much bigger things happening in 2020. I get it. The fact that we did not have Olympics this year. Every 4 years, like religiously since 2000, I fucking wait every 4 years for the Olympics, and I am very upset that I did not get to see some gymnastics, some indoor women's volleyball, some track and field. I am upset about it.
I love ping pong. Love Olympic ping pong. I stay up all night on MSNBC watching like the qualifying rounds on ping pong. Obsessed. Diving. Give it to me.
Diving. Oh, diving is so good.
I love diving. No, we're almost there. Like 6 more months. I know. I feel like maybe other than like the systematic like racism and inequality that we're dealing with in this country this year and like all the other things, I do like, so that's first, COVID, inequality, but then that's creating most of the frustration and anxiety. But I am with you that I think there is also an amount of generalized anxiety from just not getting our Olympics fix. It's not the most major one, like you said. It's like, but it isn't like the top 10 of things that have me ready to snap. Because I was supposed to get my gymnastics like 4 months ago. Like we were supposed to be Simone and her 8 gold medals on 6 press tours by now.
I know.
All not right.
But that all aside, how are you feeling with quarantine life? I know you're not in LA or New York.
I'm not. I'm in Texas. I moved to Texas. Queer Eye came to shoot season 6 here in March, about a week before like everything shut down. And having my 4 cats, and having just got back from New York, and like I just was like, there's like a lake here and there's like outdoor space, and it felt like I was in the beginning of 28 Days Later. So I was like, I'm just gonna and I just like rented a little place in Texas. And then I just kind of fell in love with the nature, and I like started gardening. And so then all my activism became like, I'm used to kind of like, in January and February, I was like out on the campaign trail and like out doing like the last few years. And this year it's like, okay, how do I stay safe? My mom's immunocompromised. I want to be able to see her. I've been really taking quarantine so seriously to stay healthy for myself and for her. So it's been a lot of home time. My activism kind of switched much more online. And then it's been a lot of home time with my animals, like just 24/7 with my 4 cats. Then I adopted a dog, and now I've got like my own Fab 5, which if I had like they've kept me, having 5 animals at home like does keep you on like a level of like, it's taught me new schedule, it's taught me new priorities. Like it almost
Girl, I have 1 cat. I just got a cat. Oh God, she don't like that. I just got a cat in June. I got her on Pride.
You can't just stop with that sentence. I need to know everything. I need to know names. I need to know.
Her name is Colleen. She's a Sphinx. And so I originally got the Sphinx because of the cat allergies. Me being so stupid, not realizing that the allergen is in the saliva, not in the fur. But she is less likely because she doesn't lick it and spread it all over herself. So like the first 3 weeks, I was going through it, Jonathan. I had puffy eyes, I had itchy skin, and then it just all went away, and now I'm magically healed, and I just love my little baby.
maybe you just got exposed so much to the allergen that like your body got over it. That is so funny. I did not realize that it wasn't the fur and it was the spit. I would have done the same thing. That's so funny.
Yeah, me too.
No, Monét. She's stunning. She's beautiful. I did like somehow relentlessly, like my aunt became really allergic to cats when I was like 4. And she had these 2 really cute cats that she like my dad had to raise because she got like allergic. And then this year I just slowly started, I was like, I have 4 cats. I know you could use a cat. Like you need a cat, honey. Like it's been 20 years. Like you can adopt a cat now. Like I bet your allergies grew out of it. It's similar story to yours. Like I did guilt her into getting the kitten, cutest kitten you've ever seen. This one was a hairy one. The allergies were real for those 3 weeks. I felt really bad. FaceTime, like eyes were swollen shut, lots of coughing. Then I'm like, oh my God, did my aunt get sick going to adopt this cat? But nope, it was just hardcore allergies. And after about 3 to 4 weeks, she fought through it and she's kind of like, okay now. So I'm not advocating for that. I don't know if that works. We're not doctors, obviously.
I know. We are not doctors. We're just saying our experiences.
Auntie. It did happen to my auntie, and she's like fine around cats now because when she came over to my, oh my God, sorry, I kicked my hairdressing tray, which is holding my computer, and it moved. But it really is. It's like, I still have my old hairdressing tray. That's like what I put my computer on. But yeah, she got through it and I'm so proud of her. And now between her and I, we have 5 cats. And now I'm doing the same kind of like emotionally like rude technique to my dad. I'm like kind of trying to bully him into like getting a cat. Everyone should adopt.
Well, so you have 4 cats and a dog. So is this why you're teaming up with Purina this holiday? And I need to know about this like animal self activity book, because this is one of the most interesting things I've ever heard of. You need to break it down for me because I'm about to travel with her. She gets very high stress when we travel, and I want to make sure she is zen. She is Namyeho Renge Kyo.
Okay, so there's several things that we're gonna need to offline about on DMs. So she can for Namyeho Renge Kyo, because I don't know how much treats are gonna do for her in the airport. Because my cat, they need something a little bit stronger than a treat. So actually, strangely, like Benadryl like works for cats to like keep them de-stressed according to
I heard that.
And so whatever. So that's that. But okay, really, what my cats are obsessed with so we've been spending so much time, obviously, with our animals this year. My cats are counting down the minutes for the vaccine to get out so that, I'll leave their house because I'm just with them all the time. And you'll learn this about your cat in future, but like, really your cat adopted you, and your cat does your lease. Like your cat is the owner of the house. Like you're just like, go ahead, like, in cats' heads, not in reality, but in cats' heads, this is their house. Right. And they're wondering when they're going to have their space again. So we need to like create new moments with them so that they're just not like, because really when cats like go up to like the counter and they look at the thing on there and you're like, don't touch that, and then they like knock it off the counter
down.
They're not being naughty, they're understimulated. Like they need more stimulation because people think cats are these really like hands-off things and they don't need any attention. No, like they actually really need mental stimulation. They need attention. They need that to feel like engaged and happy. And when you're there all the time, like I think it's disrupted like what their flow was. And for my cats, even before this year, when like wrapping paper and we start to like wrap stuff, I mean, this year I'm obviously not having family over. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm still wrapping stuff and sending it out. And they're like, does that mean we're going to an airport? Like, are we going somewhere again? Like, is that a suitcase? Like, cause anytime, just your cat, you probably haven't traveled with her this year.
But yeah, I traveled with her. I traveled with her to Florida. I brought her over here to the UK, and then we're going back to New York this week.
So my cats, you'll probably develop this too. Like when they see the suitcase, they're like, "Fuck." I mean, excuse me. They're like, "Dang it!" Like this suitcase again.
Oh no, you can curse. You can curse here. Fuck.
They get so mad with a suitcase, and the same deal. I think their anxiety gets triggered when like I'm wrapping presents and like making boxes. Yeah. They don't know that we're not leaving somewhere. So basically when I partnered up with Purina, it's all about treats. It's all about little baby treats, all about baby bones. It's about creating meaningful moments for just intruding on our cats' houses so much so that they can have a nice moment for their year. And also too, because now I'm a dog parent and I've learned so much about being a dog parent, but Pablo needs to have lots of engagement and attention. And like kind of my dog kind of deals with some anxiety, and what's really been helpful for him with anxiety is like accomplishing new tasks, whether that's like jumping through a hula hoop, whether that's like working on jumping over a little bar, like when we do little obstacle courses inside, which at first we did them inside. Then he was like, I'm not living for doing this while the cats are watching, and it makes me want to lash out. So now we do it outside without the cats watching, and he likes it so much better. But yeah, it's really about meaningful moments, to make little games and make special little time focused on the animals. And it really has helped me engage with my animals more, help them de-stress. And the thing with the cat that they love so much is if you take a little baby egg carton, and then you can take little like ribbons that you like, I mean, don't do ones that they'll eat. Like I like the one that you just take the, you know, the stickers on the bottom and you like stick it on a, you that thing on the bottom. And then you can just, you put that on top of the, like you open the egg carton, and then on top of the egg carton, you can put like a little crumpled up thing of wrapping paper. You can do little bows, and then underneath that, and just like two or three of the 12, you know, like egg containers, you put a little treat, and then they just play and like look for it. And if you make two of those, like I'll do one and put it in front of the cat, then I'll take another one and put it like in another room, and they'll go like hunt for the other one. Cause once they do it to the first one, they're like, I saw you have another one. I remember it. And they're like, like hocus pocus, looking all over for it. They're so cute with these little toys. And depending on how many of the treats you use, like they will literally actively engage with that game for a good 45 minutes. Like, and I don't know if you do this when you're trying to work. I think I've seen it. And your cat's like, hold me now that you can't pay attention to me, pay attention to me. Like now that you don't want me to sit on your face while you're on camera.
I was sitting on the laptop. She would literally walk and sit literally directly in front of the laptop. Like, girl, like, what's up?
I'm making something right now. So if I literally have, so this is the true story of the partnership. So that was their idea. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love that. But like, I'm not that smart to like figure out how to do that by myself. Like that, like they had that idea. And then we did this cute photo shoot, and Larry was like literally obsessed with this game. So then the next day I was like, and they took like their cute little decorations with that like art department, honey. Like they took their Christmas decorations. So I had to go buy dang eggs and like make something with the eggs so I could get a container so I could like make that for my cats. They love it. Like, and then I was like actually wrapping my things, and like, then I went to New York with the cats. And so then I had to use ping pong balls because I like, that's what I had in my apartment. So I used ping pong balls for this game on top of the egg cartons. I've used like crumpled up paper. I've also used Christmassy things. So you can do the same technique with lots of stuff, but they just love like finding something.
Okay. I will definitely be getting one, because I have to say that's something I struggle with. I'm like, I want to engage her, but I don't want to. Also, I heard that you're not supposed to spoil cats, so I try not to do the most that she gets really spoiled, because I don't want to. Because I hate when people have troublesome pets. Nothing worse than going up to somebody's house and their pets are all up in your shit, chewing your clothes, doing this and so I want to make sure I don't get her into those kind of things.
Well, but with cats, like I feel like what makes the like most well-behaved cat, you know, is actually like they need to be like played with like a little like dangly toy, and like like you gotta like wear them out a little bit, or when they're not worn out and when they haven't like, you know, been tired out, they just want to like go up to your glass of water and like knock it over, or like sit on your computer, because that's their way of being like, pay attention to me, like I'm much bored and you're here all the time.
Now, switching gears a little bit, we all know that it is a holiday season, and the holiday season can be tricky for queer kids to navigate. We all know that, and I know you saw that heartbreaking letter of that little boy wrote to Santa asking if he supported the LGBTQIA community, which is so. You haven't seen this?
Was that from the Trans Santa Initiative, or was that another?
Another thing, this little boy wrote this letter to Santa. He's like, Santa, this is me. I just want to find out if you support the LGBTQIA plus community, and if you do, can you please talk to God and tell him to love the LGBTQ community as well. It's literally the sweetest thing I have ever seen in my life.
Did the parent like write back as Santa and say like, yes, I do, and I will put in a word with. Just across the street from me on the North Pole, so yes, I'll go talk to them. That is so cute. No, I didn't get the chance to see that, but I do know how tricky the holiday season is for youth, or for LGBTQ youth especially I mean, it doesn't even matter, because I was about to say, like, especially for LGBTQ youth in rural places, but even if you're a super urban place and your family isn't accepting, or it doesn't, so if your family does not accept you, and it's such a celebration, I think, of togetherness and, you know, unconditional love and like family times. It reminds me of that movie While You're Sleeping, Honey, except for without LGBTQ stuff, because there was like no LGBTQ stuff. But you remember that scene when Sandra Bullock, after he's in a coma, and Sandra Bullock is sitting there with her one little present while everyone's like happily opening like their Christmas presents together? Everyone wants that. Everyone wants to sit by a fireplace and watch each other open presents in their family. But like, not everyone has that. And so because I think we live in this culture that just, it teaches us to compare, and it teaches us to compare our worth and our love and our value against what other people are doing, what other folks are doing. And that can be a really tough mirror in the holiday season. And and on top of it being such a difficult year and such a divisive year, like politically for the LGBTQ community, and, you know, and currently like having our worth and our existence like debated like in so many state legislatures and in the United Kingdom. Obviously right now there's just been some things that have happened around trans equality this year that I think it is such a hard time. And so any way that we can ally and support LGBTQ youth and each other this year by slowing down enough to like reach out to your friends and reaching out to your loved ones and asking how they're doing, because not everyone has like that Sandra Bullock While You Were Sleeping moment.
And also supporting things like India's Trans Sans initiative, which I think is such a brilliant idea, because obviously around the holidays, people who want to be charitable and want to be helpful, it's like, well, what can I really do? And this initiative is something so simple. They have a whole Instagram, and it is just such a brilliant idea. You just donate whatever you can. You can help kids get things that they if it's a kid that's an artist, you can get some paint for them, some paintbrushes, some canvases. Like, it's like really simple stuff that will mean the world to trans kids who are sometimes in shelters and don't have any type of Santa or any Christmas. So there are all these beautiful initiatives out there.
Because I mean, we love organizations, we love donating to foundations as well. But the thing that's so neat about Trans Santa is that you can like literally pick out folks and you know that it's going straight to them. And that is directly to them, not straight to them. But you know.
Now,
that initiative is so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet. And I want to say, because I know you are the guru of self-care, and I have to be honest, during quarantine, I have been not keeping up on my self-care and skincare stuff because it's getting a little boring. To me, it's like sex. I want to like change it up a little bit because I'm like doing the same things all over and over again. What advice do you have, JVN, about self-care? Little things that we can change to spice up self-care for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that people, myself included, not so much now, but like especially in my 20s and 30s, I always thought that self-care meant like, what mask am I using? Like, what like kind of bath am I going to take? Like, what like, you know, what aesthetic things am I going to do to myself? Like I thought that that's what a self-care moment meant. And while like on Sundays, I do have like my self-care Sunday moment, and I used to do that more at like a spa. Now I do it like, you know, at home, and I'll like take a bath. I do my masks. I will steam my face. I do like a longer session on Sundays, and that does feel restorative and nurturing and lovely to me. It's kind of like an appointment that I don't miss. However, to me, like learning to garden this past year was self-care, and like getting in, I did follow my Duolingo train, but I was learning Chinese there for like a good like 8 weeks. And that was really self-care. But then I adopted a dog, and having 5 animals at home, it was like, I don't have time for that every 20 minutes in the morning. I'm like walking a dog. But adopting Pablo was self-care for me, like making room for that. And that commitment to learn about myself, and also a commitment to another living being, like that was self-care for me. And so I think it's kind of about a way that we can spice up our self-care, is like broadening what our idea is of self-care in the first place. Like, is learning a new skill something that could be restorative and self-care to you? Is getting into walking something that could be restorative and self-care to you? Could going to a food bank and working for your community be something that could feel like self-care to you? Because sometimes I thought, and I had the extreme honor and privilege of getting to meet Adrienne Marie Brown and interviewing her on Getting Curious a few weeks ago. She's incredible on Instagram and Twitter, and follow her and read all of her books. But she was like teaching me about how, like, I think really what I was doing when I thought so much of my self-care, I was like, let me just go turn on Drag Race and like watch like telly for 9 hours, like on my one day off. Cause like I work so much, right? And sometimes I need to watch Drag Race for 9 hours. Like that's legitimate. And that is self-care sometimes. But sometimes when I do that, or when it's Bake Off, or if it's whatever show it is, the Queen's Gambit, sometimes when I am on the couch for 8 hours on my only day off, like I don't get up from that feeling as good. Like if I was really listening to my self-care, like some of those times, like maybe like doing yoga at home would have felt better. And like maybe cooking like would have felt better. Like at the beginning of quarantine, I was like Susie McBakerson, baking bread, baking this, baking that. And the last couple of months I've been like, I feel like as work started picking up, like I kind of stopped doing some of those things that were making me feel good and kind of grounding me in such a uncertain. It doesn't have to be makeup. It doesn't have to be something that we do to our outsides. It can be something that we do for like our inner child, or for, you know, something that isn't aesthetic.
Also, and then I am very jealous about this Kesha cruise that you did. And you guys, well, were you part of the matching hand tattoo crew?
Oh,
they all got this fish tattoo. Did you get one?
I was there. I did not get one. But I was there. I was in the room. Here's the thing. When you get a tattoo that like doesn't turn out the way that you want it to, which like that's like the last tattoo I did. It's on my shoulder. I love the sentiment. It's pretty, means a lot to me, but it did turn out like 19 times thicker than like, you know, like when you get a tattoo, like they put like the drawing on, like and then they like color that in. Mine turned out like literally like 19,000 times thicker than it meant to. It was supposed to be like a little dainty writing. It's like stamp. So like I feel like I'm good in my life. I'm like, I did it. I was there. I feel complete. I was just down for the ride, and it was really fun.
And Bob was telling me that because watching Queer Eye, I didn't know that you like did like actual stand up, and he was like, girl, JVN is so fucking funny. When did you fall into stand up? And will you be touring as soon as we're able to come this year, this 2021?
Yeah, and I had just finished. I did like oh my God, it was like a 6-country, like 38 state, like 30 show. Like I did an international tour in 2019, and I started doing Margaret Cho's hair through Game of Thrones back when I started Game of Thrones in 2013. And then in 2014, in season 2 of that series, I got to work with Margaret Cho. And once I started doing her hair, that was really when like the bug kind of got planted in my ear. She was like, you're meant to be a stand-up comedian. And I was like, I'm meant to be a hairdresser. Like I'm meant to be your hairdresser, Margaret Cho, who I love so much. So I'm not trying to do all that. And like, she's like, if you ever want to open for me, I'm like, I can't, like, I didn't do what you did. Like, I'm not.
That is amazing.
Like, I felt like I wasn't worthy of it for so many years. Cause I was like, I haven't done the things that other comedians do. Like, I didn't do open mic nights. I didn't do the things that other comedians do.
Yeah.
But then funnily, like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel came out. And then I realized I was like, I've basically been doing my stand-up and my open mic nights at the salon. Like, I just wasn't doing it in stand-up clubs. Like I've kind of been doing my writing in the salon. And so then I was like, girl, don't be so scared. Like, what have you got to lose? And so then right when Queer Eye came out, right before Queer Eye came out, actually, I was like, let me start getting up and doing some of these nights. And so I started doing drop-ins on comedy shows in New York and LA because Queer Eye hadn't come out, but we'd been announced. And so like, I was like, oh, I'm going to be on Queer Eye. Can I come just do like a 10-minute set tonight? And I started doing that. And after like my 4th set, I was like, I'm obsessed. I want to do this. And all I was doing at the beginning is like, it was at the same time that the 2018 Olympics were on. And so, and like in nationals had been before that. So I was just like recapping old Olympic figure skating competitions. Like my first bits of stand-up. Cause like, that's what I felt comfortable like riffing on and writing about. And then it slowly started, like I got a couple tight 10s, then I started doing 20 minutes and then my show got up to like, I have an hour, and I haven't done a special yet, but I want to someday. And it's been such a fun opportunity for me to be able to do. And like that to me has like been another version of self-care, like kind of thinking that it wasn't something for me that I wasn't allowed to do. But then it was like, wait, who said that? And then actually being able to do it and accomplish it. It's like, that has also, like, writing to me now has kind of turned into a self-care thing that I never had before. So, yeah.
Which I'm sure we're gonna get an autobiography, a memoir. Oh, a memoir. That sounds really dark, but and an autobiography. I'm sure it'll be so crazy.
And it's right over my shoulder, over the top. I wrote her last year. I'll send you a copy. She's deep. I go in.
I'll buy her. Wait, did you speak on the audiobook as well?
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Yeah, because I hate when I get a lot of audiobooks and I hear the autobiography. I'm like, I wish the person who wrote it did the autobiography. It just gives it so many more different layers. It feels just more real.
Yeah.
So yes, work.
The way that I write is like exactly how I talk. So I feel like the audiobook is a really fun experience because like when I read my own work, I'm like, maybe I could try to write more like a writer and not like exactly how I talk, but sometimes I think that's like
no.
I think that's my charm. So I'm not trying to change it.
Yeah, work. No. Well, JVN, this is our first time talking, but I've heard so much about you. We have so many mutual friends, and so it's been great to chat with you. I will be getting this activity book to keep Miss Colleen busy because she's here chewing on cushions, chewing on things. Why are you being so mean today? Say hi to JVN.
She needs her egg carton game. She's gonna love it. I love you.
Yes, I'm literally gonna make it and put it in her crate for the plane ride up in Delta One. Colleen gonna be playing with her little egg crate. Oh, sorry. Oh, she's so. Thank you so much, my dear, and happy holidays.
You too, baby. I'm gonna follow you on Instagram right now. I can't believe I wasn't doing it already. I'm ashamed and embarrassed, but I love you.
Same. Thank you, my love. That's all for today, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into the episode. I'm happy that we recorded that JVN episode in London. I love my makeup in that. My makeup was really fucking good in that. I should do that more often. It was really cute. I wanted to show y'all, like, when I'm like really trying, I can like do shit. Like I can like do stuff, you know? This is next week. We are having an episode with all of the queens of season 13. So stay tuned for that. It's really cute. And I like them more after that, right? Patty has no idea. He's on Grande. He's not paying attention to what's going on.
I was trying to read the article about how to pronounce. Apparently, the middle character is Ash, but then it just went on to this whole thing about how Steve Jobs never had like license plates because he got around a loophole because he like changed his car every 6 months, so you like don't have to have a license.
Richie,
and then Mark Zuckerberg trying to like get exclusive rights to like land he owns in Hawaii, and Hawaiians being like, Rich people do some crazy.
Rich people, they just walk around the world doing whatever the fuck they want. And you know what? I need to start operating like a rich person. Just do whatever I want. Yeah, right. My black ass would be dead up in jail somewhere under some fucking New York City snow. Buried. So tune in next week for the season 13 queens of RuPaul's Drag Race. And I hope y'all have a good rest of the year. Because that's it. This is like the last official episode of the year. We're done. Whatever. Bye, Horace. I'll bring Colleen, but she's sleeping, so whatever.